Am I on? So much closer than it was last time.
Hey everyone, we are live from the Chesapeake Energy Arena. But don't worry, this arena sits over 18,000, more than 18,000 people. But Chris and I are the only ones here at Center Court having a lot of fun, missing every single one of you. As you all know, most of our demo days, we have everyone, mentors, advisors, investors, founders, all gathered together to celebrate the accomplishments of the companies that we host. Unfortunately, given the pandemic, we're not able to do that because we prioritize your safety and the safety of the founders and the investors that we all love. But we're doing this the way we know, through technology and through live stream. And we asked the Thunder if we could do it from here so we can give you lots of positive energy and lots of positive vibe coming from the energy arena. Right, Chris?
Had to unmute. Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I think we ought to bring Gaby in, wherever she is in this universe, and have her give us a rundown of how things are going to go tonight.
Gaby, welcome.
Hey guys, excited to be at demo day, however it is this year. Finally made it. And then, so yeah, just for anyone who's watching online, so you know, we're here at the arena. I'm in one of these amazing founder lounges. But for the last 3 months, we've been working with founders from 10 different companies, going over everything from startup mechanics to how to pitch investors. And for us, Demo Day is a big celebration when they put everything together or we introduce them into the community for you guys to find out how amazing and great they are as well. As was mentioned, we usually do it live before, but of course this year is different. So here we are. We still want to celebrate with them. We've done this virtual now for the fall, or for the spring and now the fall batch. So for anyone at home, demodaystitchcrew.com site is live. Founder pitches are live. You can find them there. You can watch their pitches. You can request intros. And most importantly, you can connect with these founders and their companies on social media. So please go and check them out at demodaystitchcrew.com.
That's right. That's right. And before we officially kick things off, I think it'd be right for us to thank all of our sponsors. And I'm going to try to do those off the top of my head. So, of course, we have to thank the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have to thank Google, the Hogan Taylor, off the top of my head, the Lobeck Taylor Family Foundation, the Inasmuch Foundation, mine went blank, Kirkpatrick Family Foundation, I knew that was the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber, and, of course, Bank of the West. So thank you to our sponsors.
For sure. Well, now that we've thanked our sponsors, and we have many people to thank, but we're going to do that throughout the course of the next hour. But for now, let's go ahead and kick it off with the first company. Obviously, as Gaby mentioned, you can go to demodaystitchcrew.com to watch every single pitch. All of these founders have no more than 5 minutes to pitch the problem that they're solving, why they're solving it, and why it's potentially a big problem to solve. So go to demodaystitchcrew.com to watch all of their pitches. But just as important is that you know who's building these companies, the founders behind these companies. So we're going to take the next hour to, again, introduce you to them. And so you get to know them. So with that, let's kick it off with Yash and Puni, who are the founders of Avis, which is a drug prescription AI assistant set to become the next Alexa for doctors managing chronic ailments. So with that, Gaby, we'll turn it over to you so you can introduce us to Puni and
Yash. And Yash. They're coming up here. There they are. Hey, Yash, how are you doing?
Doing good, Gaby, doing good. We are super, super excited to be here, and we really, really appreciate Stitch Crew for giving us this opportunity. So thank you.
No, we're excited to have you on. I think so. For each of the founders, for anyone who's watching, we're gonna again, kind of like demo day. You guys have 5 minutes to kind of get to know you guys a little better. So first of all, let's just kick it off. I'd love to hear about you and your team. For anyone at home, just so you know, Yash and Puneet met at a little university called Johns Hopkins. Right, no big deal. What got you two invested in this problem specifically?
Great question, Gaby. Absolutely. The journey does start back at Hopkins, where Yash and me were both graduate students. Yash was pursuing his MS in finance. I was doing my master's in healthcare management. And it was really great just being in this entrepreneurial and medical ethos, just being a part of this great community that fostered innovation, especially in the medical space, of course, being Johns Hopkins. Being immigrant students, we had to, of course, find jobs, maintain our legal working status in the United States. So we couldn't jump straight into working for Avis. So we worked our individual jobs, work in corporate, but we were always working for Avis and thinking about Avis at the back end. The grand vision for the company has always been, as Erica gave a fantastic introduction, to fully autonomize prescription management for chronic ailments. But we targeted type 2 diabetes in specific because, unfortunately, a lot of our friends and family do suffer from the condition. And we've seen personally, or at least secondhand, upfront and close, the way they have to suffer going to the doctor again and again, having this trial and error method, where they're going to the doctor, getting prescribed drugs, and then coming back again to just change their treatment because they aren't being given the treatment that's best for them right from the get-go. So we decided to tackle that drug disease group first. And it's honestly been just a great, great opportunity for us, a great learning experience. You talk about the team as well. I think that has been the most fruitful journey for us thus far, really building and getting together a set of people that have a similar mindset, similar values that drive them towards making that incremental change in just healthcare prescriptive practices. And we've been blessed to just being able to collaborate with some of the brightest minds in industry and academia.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. And I know you mentioned it a little bit in your pitch too. So it's just great to hear more about how you guys got started. But with that being said, you've had some pretty big traction to date with data access partnerships giving you access to 3.6 million patients. Is that correct? Worth of type 2 diabetic clinical data. I mean, that's a pretty big number. Can you tell us about those partnerships and maybe what's next for Avis?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. I'd love to touch base on the data access partnerships. So in the healthcare ML world, the quality of your trained algorithm depends to a large extent on the quality of the underlying training data set to which you expose the algorithms to. So we were always cognizant of this fact, and we did a lot of deep dive and due diligence to figure out what the best training data would be for a synthetic algorithm, which were to mimic a human endocrinologist. So a logical answer which came to us was that if you could expose the algorithm to any and all mistakes which a doctor makes while choosing one out of the 11 drug classes to treat type 2 diabetes, then we could use that as potential pitfalls for the algorithm and help the algorithm avoid those potential pitfalls for every unique patient. So to that end, we came up to the conclusion that yes, electronic health record platforms have been the norm in the US for the past 3 decades. So they house a whole host of treatment and outcome data for all the 11 drug classes used to treat type 2 diabetes. With that said, we started to strike one-off data access partnerships with premier institutions all across the country, beginning from Oklahoma State University Center for Health Systems Innovation, via which we got access to Cerner's Health Facts, which is a repository of about 64 million patient records in all, out of which 3.6 million patients are type 2 diabetics. Moving on, we also have a data access partnership with the National Institutes of Health's All of Us Biobank, which is a public biobank study conducted by the NIH and houses a huge volume of EHR data spanning chronic ailments. Our third partnership has been with an open source data repository, which is also a part of the NIH. It's known as the NHANES survey and is an annual questionnaire survey to figure out the lifestyle factors impact on the progression of type 2 diabetes as a disease group. So these 3 have been our primary data access partnerships. Moving ahead, once we've got the algorithm trained, we'll be accessing more data sets, but this will be from more of a cross-validation standpoint, just to expose our algorithm to a completely new, unidentified data set to measure its accuracy from a retrospective angle. So this is the future in terms of data access partnerships.
Wow, amazing, guys. I'm so happy for you guys and so just excited to see what's next. For everyone at home to hear more about Avis, to learn more about Yash and Puneet, to connect with them and connect with their startup, Avis, head over to demodaystitchcrew.com. You can, again, connect with them on social media. Definitely watch their pitch and request an intro. But thank you guys for joining us and excited for what's next for Avis.
Thank you so much, Gaby. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Thank you, guys. Smart team. Just another example of founders who are way smarter than I'll ever be. That list is getting really long, by the way. Next up, we have Jamie with Business Savvy Physician. Business Savvy Physician is a online immersive learning platform for physicians to help them navigate the business side of their careers. So think masterclass for physicians. And we're excited about this. And Jamie, want to hear more?
Oh.
Get off there. We do want to hear more about you, Jamie, and more about Business Savvy Physician, for sure. Welcome, first of all, to Demo Day.
Thanks for having me.
No, of course. Okay, so let's get started. Tell me more about your background, Jamie. You've had a long career in the medical industry. This isn't just something you kind of dove into out of nowhere. What were you seeing that made you realize the business side for physicians was a problem?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question, Gaby. So I've actually been in medical sales for over 18 years now. And so I've worked with a lot of docs, and I just keep seeing it time and time again. And I see all these unhappy doctors, and they come out of school and they join practices or even hospitals. And then, they start working for them, and then they go into it blind because they don't know the questions they should have been asking. So whether it's they're working more hours than they planned on, or it's set up different than they planned on, or maybe they just don't like the partners that they were with and didn't think to look at the personalities of who they're working with and stuff. So it's just, you see all these physicians who are so unhappy, and then they go in, and then after about a year or two, they quit, and then it's like they have to start all over again and find another practice or switch and go to a hospital. A lot of them are just go something completely opposite and join a hospital or a practice. So just because of their experience, it's sad.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think from my standpoint, I don't really see that. So it's great, especially if you're hearing on your pitch, just all the different things that really not even just a physician alone, but residents or whoever else needs to know. And this is for not just for physicians, right? It's
right. Yeah, I mean, it's residents, and then it's practicing physicians who have been out practicing for anywhere from, early out of residency to, well into their late career. We plan to have videos on, a wide range of topics. So, your baby boomers who are looking at, retire, they're probably wondering, should I just close up shop? Do I sell it? I mean, so we plan to have videos for everybody.
That's awesome. And is it just you on these videos, or what can we expect from the platform?
No, yeah. So I'm not on any of the videos. I actually hire experts. So I have different experts anywhere from, physicians to lawyers to CPAs. I've got agents, insurance agents, things like that. It just kind of depends on the video and the topic. I find the best of the best. They have proven success. I also have experts who are actually on my team. So I've got 3 physicians who are advisors to my company. One is Dr. Steve Meltzner. He's a maxillofacial surgeon. I've got Dr. Daryl Robinson. He's a pain management physician. I've got Dr. Zane Yulin. He's an orthopedic surgeon. I also have another girl. Her name's Emily Kresberg. She works with me on a lot of marketing and content and things like that. And I recently just hired a new an intern, so that's exciting. And then I have a videographer who I use. His name's Joe Hopper, and he is the videography team behind all where all the magic happens. He makes everything look good. So yeah, I have a great team, and it's fun to work with everybody and hear their ideas. And so yeah.
Great. That's great to hear. And again, reminder for everyone at home, go to the Demo Day Stitch Crew site to watch Jamie, Business Savvy Physician, pitch. Again, you can watch that pitch. They had less than 5 minutes, just like tonight, less than 5 minutes to kind of go over everything. And then you can connect with Jamie, connect with Business Savvy Physician on social media, and request an intro. Jamie, thank you so much for your time, and I'm so excited. Happy demo day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.
I'm back. We're maneuvering this in just on our own in an arena. It's a little creepy, to be honest, to be the only one here in such a big place, but it's actually super, super cool. And we're once again very grateful to the Oklahoma City Thunder for always figuring out a way to make startups and founders feel special, even amidst a pandemic. So thank you to our partners, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, next up, we have an incredible founder. Ali is the founder of Quema, a company making smart tracking wearables designed for employee safety. So think of OnStart meets EasyPass for HR safety. And before I turn it over to Gaby to interview Ali, I have to tell you one question, and drop it in the comments if you want to ask Ali, is which bourbon is his favorite? Because I think he's tried just about every bourbon that there is to try in the entire world. So Gaby, I'm going to turn it over to you.
There, I'm having a little snack. Thank you. So I think Ollie should be coming up. There he is. Hey, Ollie.
Hey,
how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. Excited to have you on. This is demo day. How are you feeling?
Pretty great. Excited.
Great. Awesome. Okay. Well, I think the people want to know what's your favorite bourbon?
It's a tough question because I can't answer that with a single bourbon, but I can probably give you a couple. Woodford Reserve, Eagle Rare, Bullet, and the list goes on.
All right. Well, about Quema now, you kind of have a crazy story, and you touch on it in your pitch about how you had a friend that was kidnapped in Mexico, and thankfully it was a happy ending. She survived. She got back. But is that what got you invested in the employee safety industry, or tell us about that?
Yeah, that incident actually shed a light to my co-founders and I, and it really just was the tip of the iceberg to how big the problem really is. And people mostly think that safety is an issue that happens in third world countries or in continents like Latin America and Africa. But in the reality, the US itself has 7,000 near-death experiences that happen every day at the workplace. And unfortunately, around 1,000 of them actually result in somebody losing their life. So we kind of just started mapping out where these risks take place. And unfortunately, most of them are unpreventable incidents. You can do a lot to prevent it, but you can never completely prevent it. So we really focus on giving back the time to getting the right response when these things go down, because they will happen. So that's really how Quema was born. And the stats that just broke our hearts were like 40,000 business travelers getting kidnapped every year to 1,000 people about losing their life every day, and the different types of jobs that you face that have really high cases of crime and incidents that you can't come back from, unfortunately. So that really was our North Star to founding Quema.
And I mean, it is just crazy stats. But you've recently also, I mean, right now we have, the whole COVID problem. You've recently pivoted a little bit with your safety that you tracking that you offer. Can you tell us about that as well?
Yeah. So really, when we created Quema, we were really focused initially on emergency alerts, and that was our key use cases because we could buy time during those emergencies. But we quickly learned that there's other processes that we can also buy time for. So with COVID-19, it was really contact tracing that we started doing. And really, when somebody tests positive at a workplace for COVID-19, you really have to act fast to isolate from spread. And that's already been seen in cases where that did not take place, and tens of thousands of people contract COVID at the workplace. So we still kept our value proposition of buying time during incidents, from emergency alerts, earthquakes, mass hazards, mass shootings, refinery explosions, to COVID-19 outbreaks at the workplace, and most recently, mass evacuations too. So this really puts us on the map for a lot of different industries, from oil and gas to plastic manufacturing to social workers, and the list goes on. And we really have been excited to get this kind of welcoming in the Midwest, from Oklahoma, from St. Louis, from Chicago, from Wisconsin, from the coast, and more importantly, from countries like Mexico, Kenya, and Brazil. So it's very exciting.
And very quickly, before we have to jump off, I do want to mention that you recently got a big grant awarded. So I want you to tell us just a little bit about that if you can.
Yeah, it's a pretty great honor. We were one of the 4 companies chosen for a geospatial grant from the leading agency from the Department of Defense called the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. So we have access to decorated members and get to learn and explore use cases within the DoD. So that's a very exciting use case for us because we learn from people who have been on the forefront of this innovation for decades. And really that allows us to further tighten up our value proposition. And yeah, we're bringing that to Oklahoma and bringing it to every other state and country in the world. So really excited.
Yeah, congratulations. So excited. Anyone who's watching at home, head over to demodaystitchcrew.com right here. Watch Ali's pitch, connect with him, connect with Quema on social, request an intro. It's all on there and you won't regret it. So thank you so much, Ali, for joining us.
Take care. No problem. Bye.
Ali's great, Gavs. Thank you so much for that. Well, we've now heard from Ava's team, Business Savvy Physician, and then of course Quema. So again, please go to demodaystitchcrew.com to watch their incredible pitch. Just find out more about the problem that they're solving, why they're solving it, and why they're so passionate about it. I think that once you get to know where the passion comes from, you just fall in love and you want to help out in any way that you can. But I also want to take a quick second. So you've heard from 3 companies. We still have 7 to go. But I want to take a quick second to thank all of our mentors. All of our mentors that took so many time during the last 13 weeks to do workshops with the founders in our company, who did office hours, who are always sharing the content of the companies or ours. In fact, my phone is blowing up because all of our amazing mentors are sharing about Demo Day, are sharing about the companies. You're so supportive. Know that Stitch Crew and the startup community wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for you. Thank you for investing in startups. Thank you for dedicating your time. You're making a huge difference, and we can't do this without you. So thank you to all of our amazing mentors. There's so many, we can't name them all. So we're just going to leave it at that. But thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to give it over to Chris to tell us about the next company.
All right, here we go. These next group, they may not be bourbon aficionados, but they're still super, super cool. We have Heather and Jamie, the founders of Mozzie Style. Mozzie Style is an outdoor brand with a line of mosquito net gear. It's insecticide free, and it's built to protect you from mosquito-borne illnesses. So could be a game changer, and they're just a super cool team. So Gaby, take it away.
Yes, I'm so excited to speak with the Mozzie Style girls. They should be on here soon. We're having some technical difficulties, but this is just a quick reminder. Well, first of all, thank you to our mentors. But this is just a quick reminder to head over to demodaystitchcrew.com so you can see all of these pitches. Like Erica said, we've talked to the Avis team, Yash and Puneet. We've talked to Business Savvy Physician, Jamie, and we've talked to Ali with Quema. So those are just 3 of the pitches that you can expect to see at this site right here. So head over there, connect with them, request intro. But hopefully they are on soon. But if you were able to join us online, maybe you can drop something in the comments and let us know what you thought about that live stream earlier.
Gaby, I think they're trying to log in. So in the meantime, we'll move on to our next company. And then as soon as Heather and Jamie log in, we'll do that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and introduce Patturn. right? So for those of you that are in the business of reselling merchandise online or know somebody that who is, Patturn is a company for you. Dennis and Davis are the co-founders of Patturn, Recommerce. I didn't even know that was like a term. Recommerce management platform helping business owners resell inventory online faster. So let's bring them up. I'll leave and then I'm going to bring them up.
All right, and we'll have Dennis and Davis joining us. Okay?
Hey guys.
Gaby,
how you doing? Shoot.
Good. How are you guys doing?
This is a little tough, but we'll make it.
See if we can get you both in there. Okay, so Dennis, Davis, we're just missing Douglas, correct?
Yes. Can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
Dennis and Davis and Douglas, right?
Doug couldn't make it, but yeah, it's just today. Yeah.
Yes. So of course, co-founders of Patturn. We're excited to have you on tonight. Excited to have you here for demo day. So of course, this re-commerce problem, wasn't just something that you thought up out of nowhere. You just decided to create a new name for something. You and your brothers experienced this firsthand. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the problem that you were seeing in your own business?
Sure. So let me just give you like a little backstory of Patturn and how it started. But my parents started a resale company over 2 decades ago. So we've been in business for a while now. And we were involved in the company at a young age. So when we were younger, we were testing keyboards, testing mouse, like testing their products pretty much, and then sorting stuff. And we were also helping them sell. So we sold at retail stores that we had in the past. And then also we sold online. So we managed their eBay and Amazon listings, for example. So with that involvement, we were able to get a good depth of experience in the re-commerce industry. And actually, for the past 5 years, we played a major role in our parents' business. And from that, we saw some challenges running a re-commerce business. And the biggest problem was not having a dedicated management system in place. So in 2017, I probably spent the next 2 years just searching for a system that would fit our business needs. But unfortunately, there was not much support on the re-commerce or reselling side of the business. There was not much. There wasn't a software to support our business needs. So in 2018, me and my brothers and pretty much my whole family, my dad as well, we laid out all the problems that we had faced in our re-commerce business. And from the ground up, we laid out the groundworks for our re-commerce management platform called Patturn. And some people don't really notice, but the returns industry itself, so the returns from retailers such as Amazon and Walmart, they account for $500 billion this year alone. So it's actually it's been increasing due to COVID and all this other stuff. But from this $500 billion, only $50 billion gets accounted for in the re-commerce, the reselling side, and re-commerce space. So it's something that is a major problem. So out of that $500 billion, like I said, $50 billion goes to the resale market or re-commerce market. An astounding $450 billion of these products end up going into a landfill. So this is a severely underserved market that we saw, and we believe that Patturn can help with this reuse and sustainability and just the re-commerce market in general. But fast forward to today, we've been using Patturn for our re-commerce business, our parents' re-commerce business, for over a year now, and we've seen tremendous success and growth with that. We are generating revenue with our current software right now and have 10 users at the moment, and we're hoping to have, we're not hoping, but we will have 50 users by the end of 2020. And we're set to launch on the spring of 2021 as well.
Yay, excited for that. Yeah, and if anyone watching right now can use this, definitely reach out, head over to their pitch site, connect with them. But I also want to touch, you guys were recently featured as one of the 20 startups to watch in TechCrunch's Disrupt 2020. How was that?
Yeah, that was honestly an interesting experience because we barely started talking about Patturn realistically in January, and we applied to TechCrunch because it's like the kind of like startup event to attend, right? And we realistically weren't trying to pay for a pass because as founders don't really have money, so we were trying to get a free pass, right? But you have to go through this whole application process, and at first we got a denial email, which I wasn't surprised, right? Thousands of other startups end up going. And then turns out a week later, congratulations, Patturn is considered one of the top startups of 2020. And we want to give you guys an interview and a full-blown media day around kind of what you're building. And we were shocked. Like, we were shocked, and we are really excited to see, you know, a big tech company media like that really shine up, really able to shine kind of the spotlight on us. And we were really excited to see them support us.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you guys. And obviously you guys have fans. We have some comments, how you guys are awesome. And yes, definitely shout out to all the fans.
Yeah.
But everyone else, if you haven't heard about Patturn, check out the Demo Day Stitch Crew site. You can see their pitch, connect with them, request intros. You guys are great, and I'm so excited for you guys. And congrats on your demo day.
Thank you,
Thank you so much, Gaby.
Yeah.
Yes, have a good day.
Yeah. See ya.
Okay, Gaby, we're going to try this again.
Okay.
I gave the Mozzie team a killer intro earlier. I don't know if I have it in me to do that again, but they're with us. I don't know what they were doing, but they're back from the unknown. So let's go. Take 2 with Mozzie Style.
And
We made it!
they were just on a quick trip to Australia, you know.
Right?
Yeah.
We were just running around. No, we just had some.
Welcome, Heather, Jamie. So excited to have you guys on.
Thank
Good to
you.
see you.
So glad to be here.
Yeah.
Yes, we're excited. Okay, so just got to say, you know, I've been to your website. You guys have great gear. You've got stylish jackets, blankets, hats, among many other things. But this whole company isn't just about having stylish gear. Why did you guys decide to design a whole line around mosquito net gear?
Well, you know, here in the U.S., mosquito bites are annoying, but there are people who have allergies and then others who have extreme allergies to mosquito bites. But the bigger issue is really mosquito-borne illnesses like Zika, West Niles, and dengue. Those are becoming more common in the U.S. And also there's, you know, people who travel who like to go on, you know, we don't want them to get that on vacation. There's lots of people who that can happen easily sometimes when they go to those countries, and they're more apt to get that. So we just wanted to create a line of gear so that all ages and sizes can, you know, have comfortable and attractive options for everyday outdoor activities.
That's awesome. And I did mention Australia. Can you guys explain the name Mozzie Style?
Yeah. So when we were looking for names, we came across the slang word, the Australian slang word for mosquito is mozzie, and we were like, oh, that sounds so much better than mosquito. So we stuck with it, and we really love that name. We've really kind of drug it all over the place. But
Right.
yeah.
I love it. Okay, so what is next for Mozzie Style? Like I mentioned, you guys have some pretty great gear, but what's coming up next?
So we're growing exponentially, and we've added some new products that are really going to help people enjoy the outdoors, whether they like to relax or be active outside. We're going to have some products for them. We're debuting a new product for the kids in the spring, which we're super excited about. It's been the #1 request of our customers for a while. We're finally like, okay, we're going to do a kid's suit. So we're really excited about that. We're expanding rapidly, and we're pursuing the wholesale market. So we're doing our first exhibit at the Surf Expo, which is a wholesale trade show, like big caliber with, you know, Sandals Resorts and Ron John's Surf Shop showing up to write orders for their stores. That's going to be huge for us. We've spent some time really developing mass production and getting our line ready for big orders. So we feel like we're really ready for that, and we're excited. So we're planning to disrupt the industry and change how people think about mosquito protection. So just thinking completely different and completely new. We're super excited about the future, and we can't wait to share the future and the vision with you guys.
We're so excited to stay updated on that for sure. Of course, anyone online that wants to hear more about Mozzie Style, head over to demodaystitchcrew.com. Check out Jamie and Heather's pitch video. Connect with them on social media, whether you just connect with Heather and Jamie, or you maybe head over and buy a suit or two. And then definitely request an intro. Definitely recommend it. And thank you, ladies, so much. Glad you could make it on. Glad we figured this out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I told the Mozzie team that I would do a slam dunk here out on the court wearing some Mozzie gear, but they just laughed at that. Turns out I can't touch the net. But anyway,
Maybe
we have another female powerhouse founder here.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have Ashley, the founder of PayPro League. PayPro League is a web-based solution providing career development and financial management tools to customers from the time they join the workforce all the way through retirement. And Ashley knows more about HR than anybody else in this building right now, no doubt. So excited to hear from her. Gaby, do what you do.
All right. Up next is Ashley. There she is. Hey, Ashley, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you, Gaby?
Good, thank you. Excited to have you here for demo day, batch 6 demo day.
Woo, yeah, I'm excited as well.
Yay. Okay. So excited to have you on. And as Chris mentioned, you are an HR professional. I think even whenever you applied to the accelerator, I remember watching one of your videos that you did, a talk that you gave to HR professionals. But it took you a while to get there. You kind of struggled with that transition as a former athlete to get into the workplace. Tell us a little bit more about that and how it inspired PayPro League.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say thank you, Gaby, to you and the crew as well. I appreciate this, but it absolutely was a struggle to transition, as it is for most athletes. We really, a lot of times, come out of our sport with a blank resume whenever you're playing ball your entire life. And I was a collegiate athlete who was really trying to figure out how to transfer or translate the skills that I had or that I learned from the game into the workforce. And that was difficult because it's not a one-to-one. It's not relevant work experience. I always say my resume was blank, and it really said I will work for work experience because I needed to get that relevant experience to actually be looked at. And so my goal really coming out of college was to join an organization and understand how they recruit and retain talent, with wanting to help athletes transition as well, because it's not just me, it's multiple athletes. And I had the opportunity to join the Oklahoma City HR board and even learned that job seekers in general, or people who are making a career change, some type of a transition within their career, struggle with similar difficulties too. And so while my main focus was, let me get out and understand what organizations are looking for, I started expanding that to wanting to help all job seekers, whether it's an employee who is making a career change, maybe someone who's unemployed, who's trying to get back into the workforce, or even a student. And so that, I think, taking a step back and realizing that those struggles really happened across the board is what set me up to want to do PayPro. And it's called PayPro for a reason. And one of the reasons, of course, is really wanting our users to understand their salary or to understand compensation. That only really came up because I had an opportunity to be a compensation specialist and really start having that conversation with people. And so, like I said, it really was, I was an athlete who struggled to get in. I learned it was a greater problem, happened to have a skill set to talk salary or to talk compensation with people, and really kind of let that grow. What's interesting actually is when I would talk about athletes, people would also ask me about helping veterans, and also, what were those skills that they learned to help them transition into civilian life? And so that is another focus. It's just, I think, another example of how across the board, there's just could be a little bit of gap in education of, the skills that people have or what that means and how they can utilize them for a future job. So with that, PayPro League came about, and I will say it was very hard to walk away from the sport. And so I had to take an athletic approach with it, or a sport approach with it. So of course we have the league, and the league really is for you to be competitive, to join the league, to be a job seeker, to take control of your career. If you make it to the league, you're competitive. You're doing something. And our goal really is to create PayPros to help them be competitive with what we call our league. And it has a sports theme, and I love it. Can't let that piece go just yet.
That's great, Ashley. And you definitely hit the nail on the head. When my husband transitioned out of the military, it was that exact same, like, what's next? How does this translate into a normal civilian life? So and I mean, definitely for any stage, for any transition, it is so valuable. Thank you so much for being on. I'm so excited, and I really hope everyone heads over to demodaystitchcrew.com right now to watch your pitch, watch PayPro League's pitch, watch the other pitches, connect with Ashley on social, and request an intro, please. We're so excited to have you on, Ashley, and good luck.
Great job, Ashley.
Thank you.
All right, Gaby. So next we have Mohammed, the founder of Raker, a company helping farmers become more energy efficient by saving farms over $20,000 annually by providing a simple plug-and-play sensor solution. And with that, I'm going to bring Mo and hand it over to you, Gaby.
Hey.
Hey, Mo. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Excited for this demo day.
I am too. Yeah.
Awesome. No, I mean, I do have a question for you.
Sure.
You are already working with one of the largest farms and pork producers in the U.S. What is so unique about this problem that you're solving that immediately captured the attention of big players in this market?
Gaby, that's a great question, and thank you so much for it. The reason why big farms that we're working with at the moment are really interested in our solution is you have to think of farms, similarly to, let's say, a factory with an assembly line. Every product has to go through a certain process in order to get off the line and shipped out to the customer. Now, with farms especially, if something goes wrong along the way, it can really hamper that entire process and have consequences across the entire line of production. So what the Neat Meter does is it makes farms more energy efficient, but also uses the data that we gather from that energy reading to actually detect every machine in the barn. So most times with these large farms, they're using tons and tons of machines. So if one of those machines goes down, that's a lost day of productivity. And for the farms we're working with, that's over $15,000 a day just in lost revenue. So it's really important for them to be not reactive, but really proactive to any situation that comes down the line. And since the Neat Meter, our first product, can actually identify when a problem may emerge, they can actually scale that across every farm of theirs and make their maintenance cycles more succinct and also more uniform with one another. In addition to that, the Neat Meter doesn't require a fast installation. It's not expensive to install. We work with any type of farm. So it's really helpful for farms like these because they already have a robust system in place. So what we simply do is say we work with anyone, just put our machine in and we're going to help you save money.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. And I'm so excited for what you're doing.
I am too.
I also had another question.
Sure.
You work for KPMG.
Yes.
And I had to look up who they were, not going to lie.
Okay.
I didn't know that they were pretty big. But you probably had a nice steady paycheck.
Sure.
So why leave that to start a risky startup in ag tech?
Yeah, no, another great question, Gaby. Oh my God, today you're just killing it. It's certainly a risk anytime you want to go. I mean, we've heard it from the first speaker today saying, it's always a risk. But I think that risk has certainly paid off due to the fact that when I was working at KPMG as a data analytics consultant, I used to help Fortune 500 companies, level up their solutions across their data infrastructure. And what I saw was when a lot of ag companies would approach them, they usually didn't know how to help them. But me having that ag background, and I have over decades worth of experience in the agriculture sector, I knew how to help these companies. And I knew how to leverage data analytics solutions to really improve their operations and manage their risk across the line. Because the way farms are thinking today is so much more different than our grandparents' farm. Today when a massive farm, any type of farm is looking at how they want to scale and operate, they don't think in terms of, let's just see what happens today. It's more of, when we purchase a machine, we want to see how long that machine can last and do anything in our powers to increase that, return on investment for us by that purchase. Because equipment, no matter what it is nowadays on a farm, is going up. We work with dairies, for instance, with equipment worth, one robotic milker is worth over $300,000. It's an incredible price, and it's a massive investment for any farm. So what we're doing is managing that risk for them, but at the same time, helping them and everyone across the supply chain manage risk as well, because we're increasing that lifespan of every machine on the farm.
That's great. And I'm so excited for what you're doing. I'm so excited to have you here for Demo Day. For everyone watching online, head over to demodaystitchcrew.com. We are in Oklahoma, big ag community. So I know, there's got to be plenty of people that need to watch your pitch for sure. Definitely request an intro. Let's get Mo connected in the community as well, and connect with them on social. Thank you, Mo.
Bye.
Great job, Mo and Gaby, asking all those questions. If you just tuned in, we've already introduced the founders of 7 amazing companies: Avis, Business Savvy Physician, Quema, Mozzie Style, Patturn, PayPro, PayPro League, and just now Breaker. So we have 3 more companies to go, 3 more founders to go. But before we do that, I want to take a second to thank all of our community partners. Again, too many to name. It's all the incubators, all of the career techs, all of the chambers, everyone that supports entrepreneurs throughout not just the state of Oklahoma, but our entire region, and even outside. We have organizations in the coast and even in other parts of the country that are supporting the startups in our region. So we can't be more grateful to you for everything that you do. Thank you for being our community partner, and we're very grateful. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chris.
Here I am. Thank you. And absolutely thank you to our community partners. I think it's important for Mo to know that I wrote all of Gaby's questions too, by the way. Okay, this next founder is going to blow your mind with some sexy nanotechnology discussions. Next, we have Tyler with SoulGrow. SoulGrow is an ag tech company increasing crop yield by using nanotechnology greenhouse plastic coverings. Fascinating stuff, and I'm excited to hear from Tyler. There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
Should I do this interview?
No, I'll take it from here, Chris. Thank you. Hey, Tyler, how are you doing?
Hey, doing well. How are you doing, Gaby?
Yeah, thank you. It's great to have you on for Demo Day.
Yeah, it's been great. Everybody's been doing an awesome job.
Yes, I think so too. Okay, so like Chris mentioned, you have some sexy nanotechnology talk to give us. So you help crop producers grow their harvest significantly faster. Can you tell us more about how that works? But for people like me that maybe don't understand all the deep science talk.
Yeah, I'll keep it pretty straightforward. So we basically make kind of some funky plastic that shifts the light spectrum. So in plain English, plants only absorb or use the red and the blue spectrum to photosynthesize. So if you got efficiently, so if you've got the full white light spectrum, if we're able to take that light energy that's kind of wasted or not as absorbed as readily, we can push that via our technology into the red and the blue bands. So when you have a plant that's vegetating, which means it's just straight growing, it requires more blue light. So we can produce more blue light to make it grow faster. Or if it's a plant like cannabis, which has been a lot of our pilots here in Oklahoma, if you want a better flower quality, then it needs more red light. So we can use the sun's natural energy and push that into those red and blue bands to either grow your plant faster or get a better, healthier plant quality.
Okay, that was definitely understandable and pretty exciting, actually. Like you mentioned, you've secured some pilots in Oklahoma, and you've secured multiple R&D partnerships. Can you tell us about those and how they're going?
Yeah, they're going really well. So a year ago, we started a partnership with the Danforth Plant Science Center up in St. Louis, and we're doing some trials there that are going really well. We have a couple pilots east of Oklahoma City, and they just got that harvest done, and we'll have the weights here pretty soon. But what the grower said was he can definitely tell walking into our greenhouse versus the other greenhouse next to it, as in like the resin content, very sticky flowers, like basically his words. And he was very happy with the results. So everything's been going better than expected for our plant trials. It's been very exciting.
That's awesome, and definitely like customers, keep them happy. Then
100%. Yeah, if they're excited about what the plant looks like after it's grown under our material, then I feel like we've done our job. And so we've got work with a couple of research institutes, and we just received a SBIR grant from the USDA to work on some tomato trials. So it's all very exciting stuff for us.
Yes, and I'm so excited for you guys, and I mean all that is awesome, and thank you for explaining what you do. But if anyone else is interested at home, head over to DemoDayStitchCrew.com. Watch Tyler's pitch, connect with him on social media, request intros, and he will talk more nanotechnology, sexy talk to you in those 5 minutes. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Gaby.
Bye.
It is sexy. I think so, Tyler. So thank you so much for that. We're really lucky to work with you, and we believe that what you're doing is super helpful. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Erica. I really appreciate it.
All right. So next we'll be hearing from Heath, the founder of Splint. Splint is a first responder AI platform providing trusted healthcare advice and recommendations in the event of an injury. Gaby, I'm going to let you take it over.
Hey, Heath.
Hi, Gaby. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Nice background for sure.
Yeah, I had to find a good place. Had to rep the brand here. So
awesome. Well, excited to have you here, Heath. Excited for this demo day.
I'm excited to be here with you. It's exciting stuff. First
Good.
time.
Yes. Okay. So Heath, in your pitch video, you talked about the large percentage of injuries that don't get diagnosed in time. Can you tell us more about that and how you would deal with it? Because you're an athletic trainer yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I've been an athletic trainer for 4 years. I've worked in these settings. I've worked for youth organizations and high schools and colleges. And so during that time, I started to see a trend, right? There's a reason we have a job. It's because injuries occur, millions of them. And so we would do outreach to Western and Northwestern Oklahoma, where a lot of these injuries would occur and no one was available to treat them. And you start to see, there's a lack of coverage there, lack of availability. And so that's kind of why I founded Splint, was the premise of, helping people get the right type of care early. And if you look at, most people have kids, a youth game. You go to a youth event, how many times do you see a sports medicine professional on the sidelines at those events? I guarantee you it's rarely ever. And so we looked at that data, we crunched it, we found that there was a need, and that's kind of how we moved from there. So as an athletic trainer myself, I essentially built a platform so I could do that type of thing. So I didn't have to always, be two places at once. I could have a platform to connect to people, give them advice, save them money, give them reassurance. How many times have you been in a situation where you've had an injury and you didn't know what to do, right? You didn't know who to call or where to go. And I want to be the person that helps people ease their mind in that event. So
yeah, we definitely want people heading over to Splint and not WebMD or
sure.
Google. Heath, is there anybody currently doing anything like this? And if there are, how is Splint doing it better?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the answer is no. And that was kind of one of my market analysis is, I put myself in an athlete's shoes. I've been an athlete. I've had injuries. And I just said, well, what if I needed care? What if I sprained my ankle and I wanted to use an app on my phone? So I went on, Play Store, App Store, and found every app I could that was related to healthcare. And some of them, I would put the information like I had an ankle sprain, and it told me on one that I had compartment syndrome, which is a very severe leg injury that needs to go to the ER, right? So it was a complete wide array of things that I wasn't getting the right information that I wanted to get off these platforms. And so you're right, there's not any out there that are doing it currently. And there's some that cater towards the athletic market, but in the event of an injury, there's no way to connect to someone immediately to help assess that. And so that was another premise, and that's what we do so well. Athletic trainers, physiotherapists, we diagnose injuries all day long, and we help refer and determine the severity. So I wanted to make sure that not only were patients able to get the care they need, but us as athletic trainers had a platform to connect to patients. We want to connect, we want to help. So there's not anything out there right now, and that's one of the great parts about Splint as well. So.
Well, that's amazing, Heath. And obviously, just the fact that you want to help be there is great. Remember, everyone online, head over to demodaystitchcrew.com, watch Heath Splint's pitch video, connect with Heath, request an intro. It's all on there, and Heath has some more great statistics and facts for you in his pitch video, so check it out. Thanks, Heath, so much for being on with us, and we're excited.
Thank you, Gaby.
Awesome. Good job, Heath. Appreciate it. Okay, we're down to our last one of the night, and I'd say there's a 50-50 chance he's back there probably doing some push-ups somewhere, maybe curling the Davis guys. But down to Corey. There he is, Corey, the founder of the We Strive app. We Strive app is enabling personal trainers to build customized plans, all while tracking client progress. Sounds cool. Corey, I know you're pumped to tell us all about it.
Always pumped. Right. Thanks for the intro, Chris.
Bet. Gaby, take it away.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Corey, welcome. Welcome to Demo Day. Excited to have you on.
Excited. Yeah, sorry for not including you in my toast earlier, but thanks for the intro. I appreciate it.
I'm still a little salty, so we'll see how these questions go. But
all right, perfect.
Totally kidding. Sorry, Corey. See, I am salty.
It's all good.
Corey, you talked in your demo pitch about the problem health and wellness trainers and coaches experience managing customers and multiple plans. What got you interested in supporting them and fixing this problem?
Yeah, so it's a super long story, and I kind of break it down in my pitch. It originally, I didn't even realize that it was that big of a problem, and we were addressing a totally different side of the personal training industry. Them selling programs for several years, and we realized on that journey that every single phone call we had, they were just frustrated, like, how do I manage my clients? Where do I do my billing at? How do I get my business, legalized and all that stuff? And we just realized there's so many different issues that they have that aren't being addressed. And they're like using Excel, they're using notepads, pretty much everything that they can use that, isn't helping them grow their business. And so I just kind of became slowly more and more passionate, and we switched to a SaaS or a CRM model about a year and a half ago. So yeah.
Wow. Well, and definitely listen to your customers is important. And the health and wellness industry is pretty big. And I'm sure there are other apps and programs that are out there. What makes We Strive stand out different?
Yeah, so I mean, even with our current platform, which we're relaunching in about 3 weeks with like 1,000 new features, even with our current platform, we have trainers switching over to us. I feel like the main thing that we offer is just a better user experience overall. Our team spent a lot of time, including myself, doing hundreds of demos with personal trainers, fitness coaches, nutritionists, and just trying to figure out what features that they actually care about, and then also putting a lot of time in our design into just giving an overall better user experience. So we have a lot of stuff, like we have an additional marketplace that no other competitor offers. You're able to actually find a trainer, which other competitors don't offer. And there's a whole bunch of other things that are like unique to us. But I think like the one thing that you can't really write down on paper is that customer experience and that customer journey. Because I mean, we have trainers canceling our veteran competition all day, and it's just because we offer a better platform. It just makes them happy. It's easier for them to use. And we already have countless testimonials, and I'm just excited to keep getting more.
Yes, for sure. What's next for We Strive?
A lot. So yeah, we have a big relaunch coming up in about 3 weeks, whatever. I don't know what day it is, the 19th. So about 3 or 4 weeks, we're relaunching. Yeah, exactly. We're relaunching the entire mobile app and the website. About 2 months later, we're doing another relaunch, adding a bunch of features for our trainers. This current launch is going to be more about the clients. In the spring, we're going to be adding a nutrition software. So we'll be the first full dual fitness / nutrition platform out there. And then finally, next fall, we're going to expand our market from just trainers into physical therapists, life coaches, health coaches, etc. So really excited about all that, but there's a whole lot of stuff that we're coming out with soon. So yeah.
There's a lot to look forward to in 2021 for We Strive.
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay, everyone, you heard it. Head over to demodaystitchcrew.com. Right there. There it is. Watch Corey's pitch. He explains so much of that and more in there. Connect with him on social media on there, and definitely request an intro. Corey, we're excited to have you. Thank you for making us laugh at every workshop.
I got you.
And happy Demo Day.
Happy Demo Day.
Yeah. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate it. Hey, big thank you to all the founders and the startups we heard tonight. That's all 10. We heard from Avis, Business Pro. Who did we hear from? Avis, Business Savvy Physician. Quema, Mozzie Style, I'm gonna do it off the top of my head. Patturn, PayPro League, Raker, Splint, Solgrow, We Strive.
That was it. That was 10.
Man, it's a solid team. I'm really proud of this batch. Batch 6 was solid, and just love these founders.
Yes, and again, we just want to thank all of our sponsors, our mentors, our community partners. We're big believers that nobody builds companies alone, and we couldn't do what we do without you.
What?
I'm muted. For sure, we want to thank all of our sponsors and like you said, Gaby, all of our mentors and community partners. And definitely, I want to take just a quick second to thank all of the founders. I mean, really, we do what we do at Stitch Crew and with the Thunder Launchpad because we love working with just super smart people that are taking risks and doing, trying to solve problems, even when people are trying to poke holes at what they're working on, and just to see their stamina, to see their resilience, their grit, their passion for solving it. It's to me, it's inspiring. And then, I do love working with you both. So that makes it all better. But once again, I want to thank our partners as well, the Oklahoma City Thunder, for letting us borrow an 18,000 people arena just for us so that we can live stream this to you. Hopefully we brought you a little bit of joy during these times. We want to wish you a healthy holiday next week. Stay safe, stay, be smart, wear your mask, and just stay healthy for us. And please support startups. There's a lot of ways in which you can support startups. It's not just about the investment. If you heard our previous guest speaker, Chad, it's all about figuring out how to make revenue. And how companies make revenue in the early stages is through introductions to people that could potentially buy their product, do corporate pilots, share their content on social media, share this link, share the demo day stitchcrew.com link so that people can see what new startups are coming out of our program. Support them in any way that you can, and help us build a more inclusive and diversified economy in our region. With that, guys, we're done. We did it. Batch 6, another batch.
Well done.
Thank you so much. And we'll keep at it. Oh, one more thing to say. Besides going to demo day, we're actually already recruiting for batch 7.
Yes.
You go to our regular site, www.stitchcrew.com. If you click apply, you can actually apply for next batch, which will run in spring 2021. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to share this, share all of the companies with your network. That's how you can
72
support.
hours.
72 hours. That's right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.